Hello everybody, I'm kind of angry right now because I already recorded this video, but for some reason, the audio didn't save. So now I'm gonna have to be talking about it again. I went on for like 15 minutes just yapping. So I'm just gonna try and cut it short just in case the same thing happens this time. Is Hypixel pay to win? A lot of people ask this question and it is a interesting thing. So I'll start to talk about it right now. Now, the concept of pay to win, when PvP is involved, then yeah, it has some type of problem with Mojang's TOS. But we're not going to go off of Mojang's TOS. We're going to go off of, morally. Because, if they kept the Coliseum, that's probably never coming back. Simply because, that's PvP. And if you can buy stuff in the game, then that's all that. But basically, we're going to be first talking about the ranks. Ranks on Hypixel are some pretty nice features. You can create private games, create an SMP world. You can do all this, but having a rank directly does not improve your gameplay. It doesn't give you any extra items. It doesn't give you any extra buffs like damage, speed, nothing like that. All that it does is it's like cosmetic, and it gives you some features that don't give you any stats. So that's pretty interesting. And one of the most impactful things I hear about this idea is they always bring up Hypixel Skyblock. And Hypixel Skyblock is an amazing argument for this because on Hypixel there's something called gems, Hypixel Skyblock gems. With these gems, you can buy stuff in Skyblock. For instance, you can buy... Oh yeah, by the way, these gems are different than Hypixel Skyblock coins. So you can only get gems by paying real money. But basically, these Hypixel Skyblock gems, there is a shop in the community building where basically you can use said gems to upgrade your island, upgrade your coin allowance, all that. But what else you can do with these are buy, not really weapons or armor or any type of tools, but stuff like booster cookies, backpack upgrades, enrichments for your stuff. And yes, this can be seen as, pay to win. But you also gotta realize that if you buy this stuff and then sell it on the auction for coins, all you're getting is coins. You're not really getting any items. And you might be saying, oh, with these coins, they can buy stuff like Hyperion, like all this armor. Yeah, you're right about that. But the thing is, all this armor and all that, what can you do with the armor? Because all the stuff is locked behind a requirement. So for instance, adaptive armor, one of the first starter armor sets for dungeons, that's locked behind a floor 3 completion. Shadow Assassin armor, that's locked behind a floor 5 completion. It's like second best when it comes to, well, not second best when it comes to berries, but pretty good. There's Necromancer Lord, which is locked behind a floor 6 completion. And then there's also, Wither Armor, locked behind a floor 7 completion. And, we'll talk about Master Mode later, but all this stuff has a requirement. If you want to get all this armor, you can buy all the coins you want, but you will not, buying these coins will not give you, an advantage. It will not give you an advantage when it comes to getting this armor, because you're going to have to actually get to that completion yourself. So for instance, if you want the completion, you're going to have to, first of all, you're obviously going to have to get the completion by playing dungeons, which, if you are new to the game and you bought all this stuff, you most likely not going to know how to do dungeons. And I'm pretty sure dungeons is locked behind a combat 15 requirement, which, combat 15 is pretty high. And, even if you did hit this combat level, you still have to actually play the game. And it'd be a while before you can get to that level. And you might be saying, oh, you forgot, he has a ton of coins, so he can just buy carries to the completions. I mean, yeah, you're right, I guess. But think about it like this. If you buy all the carries to the completion, what do you get? You don't get any skill. All you can do is use the items. So now, you just have these items, but don't know how to use them. It's like when your friend gives you a overpowered item in a game, and then what you do with this said item is just bomb through everything. No idea. But once you get to the harder parts, you won't know what to do. You won't know any like tactics to survive, nothing, because you didn't put in the work yourself to understand how to use it. So let's say I want to buy full Necron with a giant sword. I won't know the methods on how to use a giant sword simply because I've never tried to use anything in the game. I joined, I got carried to all the stuff. I had these items, I can use these items, but the thing is, can I use the items? You might be saying, what? That makes no sense. You said, can you use the items, but you have the items, you can use the items, but you can't use them? What I mean by use the items is use them in a way that makes sense. So knowing how to use them correctly. For instance, if you've never played Mage before, and you get a Hyperion, you don't know anything about the Hyperion, if you right click, yeah, you could do a ton of damage. But you also gotta realize, mages have no HP. Meaning that if you right click with the Hyperion, you'll have to just, boom, die instantly. And you'll have to know what to do so you can actually, survive. And let's talk about Master Mode. And so I was going to get onto it later, and now I'm onto it. Master Mode is literally the hardest part of dungeons. Like, Master Mode, you'll have to pay millions of coins just to get a carry then. And that, I'm pretty sure inflation could probably bring that up to like hundreds of millions if we wait long enough. But if you want to get a Dark Claymore, which is literally the best melee weapon in the game, at least from my knowledge, it's the best melee weapon in the game, you're going to have to get carried all the way to a M7 completion. Do you know how many people can complete M7? It's a decent bit, but do you know how expensive it is? It's a lot. And getting carried all the way to that level, you're going to need to pay a ton of coins, which is a ton of in real life money. Meaning that after you do all this, and you have these overpowered items, you're going to be limited to these lower levels because you don't know how to play the game. You don't know anything about it. And you'll have no other skills either if you just focus on that. Meaning that you have done all this, but yet you're still dying in these game modes. Simply because you don't know how to use it. That's the problem with, pay to win. If you pay to win, and it has stuff like that, where it's not vanilla items, and it's a locked behind requirement, and you just get carried to it, you don't know how to use these items. So you can't really say, oh, I'm so good at the game, I have these items. Because you could literally just, paid for it. You got all the way up to this high level, and boom. Now you just have, what? A Hyperion? So what? You have a Hyperion, but you don't know how to use it. Someone who doesn't know how to use a Hyperion is basically equivalent to having no mana at all. Because if Hyperion requires mana, and, you're not going to be using any mana if you're dead. Because Hyperion, let's admit, takes skill. Although, it's just like right-click, you have to know these small things like distancing, healing, all this. If you don't know the techniques, you don't know what to do. You can go on a floor 7. You don't know secrets. No party's going to want you if you don't know secrets. Like all this, people doing all this, whatever. I'm tired. Just don't pay to win. It's not cool. Anyways, like the video, subscribe, and tell me, do you think Hypixel is pay to win? So, comment that down in the comments, and if you made it this far, comment pineapple. See you all later.